Hello everyone. Today my topic of the classical mechanics second lecture on the classical mechanics generalized coordinate. In the last lecture I have discussed about degrees of freedom, constants and types of constants. Now we discuss in detail generalized coordinates. Generalized coordinates are the minimum possible number of coordinates required to describe the system completely is called generalized coordinate. Suppose a particle P is described by xy plane have coordinate x comma y. So it has 2 degree of freedom. 2 degree of freedom. It can also be described by theta. So the P point is described by either two coordinate x and y, or it can be described by angle theta. These are the 2 degree and theta is a single degree. So 2 degree is the coordinate for representation of the particle and theta is also the representation of number of particles. This is a 1 and this is a 2. So this is a minimum number of coordinate. Theta is a minimum number of coordinate used to explain the configuration of particle P. So theta is called generalized coordinate. The definition is the minimum possible number of coordinates required to describe the system completely is called generalized coordinates. Any system is described by how many minimum number of coordinates that are named as generalized coordinate, as in this explanation theta is a generalized coordinate. Theta and x and y are related by this formula. X is equal to r cos theta and y is equal to r sin theta. X and y are the one set of the coordinate and theta is the another set of coordinate. These coordinates are related to each other as given x is equal to r cos theta, y is equal to r sin theta. Suppose we take a system of n particles. A system have n particles and we know each particle have 3 degree of freedom. And system have n particles, so system have 3n degree of freedom. 3n independent coordinates are required to describe the system completely. Suppose k are the constants, k are the geometrical restrictions acting on the system. Just like example, a particle freely can move in 3 direction, but if the restriction imposed on the particle, that particle should be moved in xy plane, so 3 degree of freedom is reduces to 2 degree of freedom. If a restriction imposes on motion of the particle, then degree of freedom reduces. So K are the constraints acting on the system. So degree of freedom becomes 3n minus K. Independent coordinates that are used to describe the system completely, that are called generalized coordinates. And 3n minus k coordinates are represented as q1, q2 dot 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 q3n minus k. These are the minimum number of coordinates to describe the system completely, and these are called generalized coordinates. The old coordinate x and y and new coordinate theta are related to each other, so the relation between old and new old coordinate is taken as r1 r2 dot 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 rn. So new coordinates are q1 to q3n minus k. The old coordinates are the n, and new coordinates are the q3n minus k. The old coordinates are 3n and generalized coordinate are 3n minus k. These are related as r1 r2 dot 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 rn, and these transformation equations are valid for old coordinate r1 r2 rn and new coordinate generalized coordinate q1 q2 dot 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 and time t. Now take another topic, generalized displacement, generalized displacement. Suppose system have n particles having position vectors. Suppose system have n particles and position vectors r1, r2, r3 and so on. In Cartesian coordinates at time t, at any instant the displacement of ith particle, the position vector of ith particle is ri, their displacement at any time t is delta ri. This is the displacement at time t. This can be written as in terms of generalized coordinate. Ri is the function of generalized coordinate q1, q2 dot 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 qf, where f is the degrees of freedom and time t. Now differentiating Ri. Delta Ri is equal to dever Ri upon dever Q1 delta Q1 dever Ri upon dever Q2 delta Q2 of plus dot 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 dever Ri upon dever Qf delta Qf dever Ri upon dever T delta T. This can be written as summation I बराबर 1 to k बराबर 1 to f dever ri upon dever qk delta q. This can be written as dever ri upon dever q1 delta q1 dever ri upon dever q2 delta q2. This can be written as this. If we expand the summation, so dever ri upon dever q1 delta q1 plus dever ri upon dever q2 delta q2, where ri is the position vector of ith particle. If time is fixed, so delta t is equal to 0. If time is fixed, then delta t is equal to 0. So the generalized displacement is given by this. If we take vector, then this is also vector. So delta Ri is equal to diver Ri upon diver Qk, delta Qk, where k is the degrees of freedom. This is the formula of generalized displacement. Next, generalized velocity. The rate of change of generalized displacement or generalized coordinate is called generalized velocity. The time derivative of generalized coordinate is qk, like q1, q2, q3, qk. So their time derivative is called generalized velocity. Qk dot is equal to dqk upon dt. If we take the position vector Ri is equal to Ri q1 qt. Now differentiating Ri, so we get the velocity of ith particle. dri upon dt, diver Ri upon diver qk, diver delta qk upon dt. Diver Ri upon diver qk, delta qk upon dt. Delta qk upon delta t plus diver Ri upon diver t. This can be written as qk dot. So diver Ri upon diver qk dot plus diver Ri upon diver. This is the velocity of ith particle in terms of generalized velocity qk dot. Now we have calculated the generalized velocity is the time derivative of generalized coordinate, and generalized velocity of ith particle is diver Ri upon diver qk dot plus diver Ri upon diver t. This is the generalized velocity. Generalized momentum. The partial derivative of energy with respect to generalized velocity. The partial derivative of energy with respect to generalized velocity is called generalized momentum. P1, P2, Pk are the generalized momentum. dE upon dqk dot. E is equal to total energy T plus V. Potential energy is independent on velocity, so their differentiation is 0. So Pk is equal to dE upon dqk dot or dt upon dqk dot. This is the generalized velocity. In other way, you can say the kinetic energy of a system is given by this. In terms of Cartesian coordinate, by this. If differentiating t with respect to xi dot, so you will get mi xi dot. Mi xi dot is the velocity momentum of ith particle pix. So pix is equal to mi xi dot. In this way, pk is equal to diver t upon diver qk dot is equal to like this. for generalized coordinate qk, mk qk dot. Mk means mass of kth mass of particle and qk dot velocity of generalized coordinate k dot. This is the definition of generalized momentum. Next is generalized acceleration. Differentiating generalized velocity with respect to time, we get a d by dt ri dot. Ri double dot is equal to d by dt ri dot d by t. Now put the value of ri dot, velocity of ith particle. Now differentiating first term सेकंड का डिफरेंशिएशन प्लस सेकंड टर्म फर्स्ट का डिफरेंशिएशन और प्लस दिस डिफरेंशिएशन ऑफ दिस टर्म. सो डेवर आर आई अपॉन डेवर क्यू के डबल डॉट प्लस समेशन के डेवर आर आई डॉट डी बाई डी टी आर आई इज इक्वल टू आर आई डॉट क्यू के डॉट प्लस डी बाई डी टी आर आई मतलब डेवर बाई डेवर टी आर आई डॉट. Substitute the value of ri dot again. Ri dot again. Put the value of ri dot again. This term and ri dot. Ri dot has this value. But if we substitute in this place, so summation has a variable k. So you will put the value ri dash, ri dot and taking summation another value other than k, just like L. The variation is taken in this summation L. No change the value after expansion. The value of this and the value of this will be seen after expansion. Dever by dever t ri dot. Further differentiating, you will get this, and this is the acceleration, generalized acceleration. And another topic, generalized force. Suppose a system have large number of particles whose one particle is ith, and the system acted upon external force. So Fi is the force acting on ith particle and their displacement is delta Ri. So work done is given by Fi dot delta Ri. Now put the value of delta Ri, virtual displacement summation k dever Ri upon dever Qk delta Qk. Qk is the generalized coordinate. This value. Now put in this place delta Ri. This is the total work done. This is the work done on the ith particle. This is the total work done on the system. Now put the value of delta Ri. So you will get this and this. And this is taken as a generalized force. Summation k qk delta qk. This is called generalized force. Integral summation k Fi dot dever Ri upon dever Qk. Fi is the force on ith particle. Devar Ri is the displacement of ith particle with respect to generalized coordinate, and Qk is the generalized coordinate. This is the end of lecture.